Stations are South Australia on 1, Western Australia 2, Queensland 3, Tasmania 4, ACT 5, New South Wales 6, and Victoria on race 7, lane 7. And as per our predictions, a close race between New South Wales, the title holders the last 3 years, and Victoria. They are locked alongside each other. I well remember 4 years ago in New South Wales that they were spread right apart.
Yeah, it's difficult to pick them up when they're spread apart, but interestingly, the Victorian Stern pair, both Olympic gold medalists. David Crawshay in the stroke seat, Drew Ginn, winner of 3 Olympic gold medals, so it's a reasonable Stern pair to have. Then you've got Josh Dunkley-Smith in 6. He's a very promising athlete as young Joshua, but Dan Noonan, an Olympian and stroke of last year's New South Wales 8, Fergus Pragnell, Matt Ryan, then Nick Purnell, an outstanding young athlete, and a 4-seat for New South Wales, Brodie Buckland, who's trying to become an Australian in time to represent at the Olympics in London, and just having a few problems there getting those things sorted out, but a very good regatta for Brodie Buckland, and looking forward to him becoming an Australian citizen.
And they're away in the 2011 Kings Cup for the men's Interstate 8-oar championship over 2,000 metres. 7 crews represented this year. Fantastic to see all 6 states in the ACT represented. The conditions down at the start, fairly choppy, but the conditions being handled extremely well by all 7 crews as they came out of the blocks there at the 2,000 metre start. South Australia in particular away to a very strong start behind their stroke, Matthew Bolt. I noticed James McRae, who won the single scull earlier in the day, also in the 7th seat there. And Matt Bolt, of course, from the famous Bolt family on lane 1, nearest the judges' tower. That was well drawn. Alongside them, Western Australia, Queensland, Tasmania, the ACT, New South Wales and Victoria over on the far side, already out to the lead between those 2 crews, with the ACT and Tasmania dropping back a little bit in the early stages. But it's Victoria and New South Wales going into the lead in the early stages of the Kings Cup for 2011. The New South Wales and Victorian Kings Cup crews going stroke to stroke with very little difference between the first 2. And then a little bit back to the crew from Queensland, followed by Western Australia and South Australia. 39 strokes a minute now. New South Wales settled down behind their stroke, Dan Noonan. They came through the 1,000, 500 in 1:19.19, a scintillating time. 0.84 back to the big Victorian crew, stroked by David Crawshay. South Australia holding up very well in 3rd position on lane 1, followed by Western Australia, Queensland, and then the ACT and Tasmania battling it out for the minor placings. But the New South Wales crew looking very strong. They're going for 4 in a row. Stroked by Daniel Noonan, back to 38 strokes a minute. Toby Lister there, coxswain. Behind Daniel is Fergus Pragnell, Matthew Ryan, Nick Purnell, Brodie Buckland, Francis Hegerty, Sam Loch and James Chapman. Many of those performers have had a great performance already, and they've let the Victorians in their wake. They're 3/4 of a length behind Victoria, half a length back to South Australia in 3rd position, followed by Queensland, Western Australia, and then the crew. Victoria on 9 strokes a minute behind the sculler David Crawshay, but they're no match for New South Wales as they come towards the 1,000 metre mark in the Kings Cup for 2011 here at West Lakes in Adelaide. New South Wales leading by 3/4 of a length from Victoria as they come through in 2:39.45, 2.54 seconds ahead of Victoria, followed by South Australia, 2.61 back, then Queensland, followed by West Australia, Tasmania and the ACT at the rear of the field. New South Wales on 37 behind their stroke, Dan Noonan. Fast time 2:39.54 at the 1,000 metre mark, but this is where the business end is. Can the Victorians come any closer? The New South Wales crew getting away to a very clear lead there in the early stages. Victoria 3/4 of a length to a length behind, followed by South Australia putting in a terrific effort on the inside station here of Matthew Bolt, James McRae, Sam Martin, Brian Cudray, Ned Kinnear, Max Tonkin, Tom Shelton and Chris Morgan in the bow seat. Coxed by Tom Game and coached by Jason Lane. They're putting up a great showing. 3rd position ahead of Queensland, West Australia, Tasmania and the ACT. But it's New South Wales going out to over a length advantage now. Rowing beautifully out there on lane 6 at 37 strokes a minute. holding out to a length lead over Victoria in second place, and it looks like New South Wales 4 in a row, even at this early stage of the regatta of the race, with coming up towards the 1,500 metres in the 2011 Kings Cup here at West Lakes in South Australia. New South Wales very, very impressive behind their stroke Daniel Noonan, through in 4:00.72. Victoria 3.25, or just over a length behind in this class, about 5.81, or nearly a length and a half back to South Australia, followed closely by Queensland, then a gap back to West Australia and Tasmania, but a very, very polished performance here by the New South Wales crew of Dan Noonan, Fergus Pragnell, Matthew Ryan, Nick Purnell, Brodie Buckland, Francis Hegerty, Samuel Loch and James Chapman, coxed by Toby Lister, coached jointly by Nick Garrett and Curtis Jordan. They've shown the other 6 crews a very clean set of blades all the way down the course, rating on 38 strokes a minute. What an impressive performance, ladies and gentlemen. You're seeing here from a world-class 8 from New South Wales, ahead of Victoria. They've got some great rowers in that boat, but no match for the New South Wales crew, driving down to the line with 100 metres to go in the 2011 Kings Cup for the Men's Inner 8 Ords Championship. Victoria trying valiantly in second place, but New South Wales all the way in the 2011 Kings Cup as they come down to the line in the shadows of the posts. New South Wales hold on to win convincingly by 3/4 of a length from Victoria in second place. 3 lengths back to the South Australians that are taking out third prize, the bronze medal in third position. 3/4 of a length back to Queensland, followed by Western Australia, another length and a half away, just ahead of the Tasmanian crew. And great to see ACT racing, but they've finished in 7th place. Well, we've seen Ray, a very, very first-class performance there. New South Wales recording 5:22.17.
Fastest time ever, Roger.
Record. The last record was 5:25.99 in the flood in 1988 at Penrith on the Nepean River. 5:22.17. Certainly a world-class performance by New South Wales. 2.79 unofficially ahead of Victoria to take out the Kings Cup for 2011 in an all-the-way victory, and that's 4 in a row.
Absolutely stunning performance from New South Wales in their stroke. Dan Noonan stroked the men's quad scull that finished 4th in Beijing. If he wants to give sculling away, I reckon Noel Donaldson would give him a seat stroking the Australian 8 in London as well. Absolutely on fire, Dan Noonan. That young crew there, there's a lot of young guys. Nick Purnell, probably still eligible for Youth 8. Nick Purnell in the 5 seat, an outstanding young athlete, and just a sensational performance for New South Wales. Victoria tried valiantly, but they were no match for that early speed that New South Wales showed. They took off with clean rowing in difficult conditions, and great to see James Chapman back as well in the bow seat. He was in the Australian 8 in Beijing. Sam Loch's worked hard, and he deserves his success. And then you've got in the 3 seat Francis Hegerty, silver medalist from Beijing. Brodie Buckland, the American, wanting to become an Australian. Nick Purnell won World Cup regattas last year. Matthew Ryan, silver medalist from Beijing. Fergus Pragnell just now starting to reach his full potential. And Dan Noonan, the affable, likeable, fantastic Dan Noonan in the stroke seat. And Toby Lister in coxing.
Yeah, we can't forget the coxswain. He did a wonderful job, Toby Lister. And congratulations, New South Wales. They handle the conditions beautifully. Ladies and gentlemen, you've seen a world-class performance there by New South Wales, taking out the men's 8 in one of the fastest times I've ever seen for a men's 8 in 5:22 unofficially. We'll get that result for you, but New South Wales scoring from Victoria and Queensland in the 2011 Interstate Men's 8 for the Kings Cup.
Presentation of the Edward Kenny Medals and the Kings Cup for the Interstate Men's 8 Ord Championship of Australia. The medals will be presented by His Excellency the Governor of South Australia, Kevin Scarce, accompanied by Mr. Colin Smith, the President of Rowing Australia. In 3rd place and winners of the bronze medals, South Australia. Chris Morgan, Tom Shelton, Max Tonkin, Ned Kinnear, Bryn Coudray, Sam Martin, James McRae and Matthew Bolt. The cox, Tom Game. And the coach, Jason Lane. In second place and winners of the silver medals, Victoria. Tom Larkins, John Linke, James Marburg, Cameron Mackenzie McHarg, Joshua Booth, Josh Dunkley Smith, Drew Ginn, David Crawshay, and the cox, David Webster. The coach, Chris O'Brien. Interstate men's 8 odd champions for 2011 and winners of the King's Cup, New South Wales. James Chapman, Sam Loch, Francis Hegerty, Brodie Buckland, Toby Lister, Fergus Pragnell, Dan Noonan, Matt Ryan and Nick Purnell. Coaches Nick Parrott and Curtis Jordan. His Excellency hands the King's Cup to the stroke of New South Wales, Dan Noonan. Now, Sam, you're the nominated spokesman for the New South Wales King's Cup crew. Tell us a little bit about that race.
Well, it was always going to be hotly contested. Tricky conditions, always going to be fast conditions. We knew when the lighties were going down at 5:47, it was going to be reasonably quick. Pretty tricky out there. Very hot for the first 500. We had an excellent race call from our cox. Probably the key was staying nice and relaxed and just trying to let the boat do some of the work.
James Chapman, 4 King's Cups. Which is the best?
They're all very different, John. They're all as exciting by themselves. There's such a difficult race to win. Such a great time preparing with this group. And today was the greatest one this year, so it's very exciting.
Ladies and gentlemen, congratulate the medalists and the champions in the Interstate 8 Odd Championship of Australia, the King's Cup.